Welcome back, guys. Today I'm gonna make some pickled red cabbage for you because I bought a way too large one for my dog birth's dinner, as you probably know, and I have to do something with the rest of it. If you haven't seen that video yet, make sure to check it out. You can find the link in the description down below. But let's go back to your cabbage. The sweet and sour pickling method is super easy to make and the best thing that you can literally use any crunchy veggie to make it. So let's roll. To give some mild savory taste for the final product, I'll start with cutting some onions as thin as possible. Cut one side of the onion to make its surface even and therefore it's not gonna roll off from your hand. It's just a quick tip. By the way, the easy way to cut them is to use a fruit peeler or a veggie slicer like this. However, if you feel adventurous, you can use a sharp knife during the whole process. It's not impossible to do the job with that at all, just make sure you have a lot of time for it. So let's slice a pound of 450 to 500 grams of onions, and be strong, my friends, because once you are finished with the onions, you probably end up crying. After you used all of your tissues and washed out your eyes, it is time to continue. So let's get ready and thinly slice 3 pounds or 1400 grams of red cabbage as well. And guys, as you know, it's always easier and much more quick when you have a helping hand, or free hands like me. And hey, if you're smarter than me, you obviously use gloves for slicing the cabbage, otherwise your hands look like this now. When you're ready with all the veggies, mix the whole thing well. Once you are done with all of that, you should left with this. After that, all there is left to do is to apply a marinade, and here's how to make that. Add 1 cup or 180 milliliters of white vinegar with 10% acid content, followed by 3/4 cup and 1 tablespoon or 175 grams of white sugar, and 2.5 tablespoons of 33 grams of salt. Mix the whole thing thoroughly again, then cover it and put it in the refrigerator for 24 hours. After 1 day in the cold, it should look like this. The vinegar dissolved the sugar and the salt, and the marinade penetrated the veggies deeply. So there is nothing left to do, just grab some mason jars, sanitize them with some hot water, and transfer your pickles into these. Make sure the lid is tightly on when you turn them for sanitizing, otherwise... Ow, ow! But anyway, pay attention to push the pickles down in the jar to release as much air out of it as possible. Once you are done with that, just top that up with some leftover juices. And as you can see, you have enough for the job. It is also important to leave some space for the natural juices which will be released from the veggie during the maturing time. You can store it in a cold, dark place up to 3 months, but make sure you give them at least 2 weeks of maturing before tasting it. And that's it. Put the lid on tightly, and here you go. I bet you know that I made this recipe with my 20 years old veggie slicer, so maybe you can also make it home, can't you?